Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Today is a feel-good flow for the whole body. I've got 2 blocks for this practice. If you don't have blocks, you can improvise with a thick book and a rolled up towel. When you're ready, we'll start on our back. And taking your right leg out to the side as though it's coming into butterfly pose, and then wiggle your right foot over to the left so that it's in between the left heel and buttock. Now, if you can reach your right big toe with your left hand, take a hold. If you can't reach, it doesn't matter. If you find that this right leg needs a little bit of support for the hip or the knee, pop your block or your rolled up towel underneath. And for your final variation, if you'd like to go a little deeper, raise the left leg and take a hold of the left knee with the right hand. Feel free to close the eyes down. And gently position the very tip of your tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Inviting a gentle tone through the back of your throat, Ujjayi breath. Observe the navel rising and falling with the ebb and flow of your breath. Begin to take a little pause before you exhale, each and every time. You might like to set an intention for your practice. Keeping it simple, just one word if you can. Less opportunity for the mind to argue there. So something you'd like to invite into your practice, your body, your mind, your day. And begin to inhale your intention. One last breath here. And on the exhalation, release that left leg down if you haven't. Raise the right. Interlace your hands around the belly of the thigh, so the middle of the thigh. Push the leg into the hands, pull the hands onto the leg. Gently arch through the lower back and begin to move the foot with your breath. Inhaling to point the toes, exhaling to flex. Well done. Next exhalation, draw the knee into the chest, straighten your left leg. Option 1 is here. Option 2, lift the upper body off the mat, float the left foot off the mat, and push the hand into the shin, shin into the hands. So either staying there or release those hands away from the leg and begin to alternate the legs, pressing your lower back down into the mat, keeping the jaw relaxed. And let's release, slow it down. We'll take that same sequence on the other side, left knee out to the side, wiggle the foot so that it's in between right heel and buttock. Option to hold onto the foot, and option to hold onto the left knee. And breathing down into the lower body. And let's release that right leg down, taking a hold of the left thigh, creating that resistance between the leg and the hands, moving the foot with the breath. And let's bend that knee, straighten the right leg, either staying here or firing up your core. And let's draw both knees into the chest, holding onto those big toes, rock and roll a few times. And coming all the way up to seated, let's move over onto all fours. Coming down into your forearm plank. So option one, you might just choose to keep one knee on the mat if you need to lighten the pose. Otherwise, straightening both legs, tucking the tailbone under, rounding through the upper back. You might even like to feel here as though you're squeezing those feet towards one another. Keep the breath steady. From here, step those feet in as you come into your dolphin pose. Heels won't meet the floor here. And let's step those feet back, return to your forearm plank. And lower down, find your Sphinx pose. Gently drawing the elbows back here towards the hips. And then lower down, bring the hands next to the body, cross the left leg over the right leg, so you're crossing at the ankles, and squeeze those thighs together. Tailbone tucks under, and then as you inhale, lifting upper body and the legs off the mat. Squeezing thighs together. Feeling the breath move the body. And lower down, turn your head to one side, uncross the legs, let the palms face the ceiling. Brief rest. And then coming back to center, crossing the legs the other way now, right leg over left, squeezing thighs, tucking tailbone, floating the feet and the upper body off the mat. So avoid going to your edge, because when you do, you inhibit the flow of the breath, the flow of the prana. And exhale to lower down, uncross the legs, take that brief rest, turn your head the opposite side. And when you're ready, let's return to tabletop position. Raise your left leg and then take it over to the right, look over your shoulder, press into the hands, the hip, the heel. And then lifting that left leg and taking it all the way out to the left side now. So lining up your left foot with your right knee, and we'll walk those hands over to the right side. Now, if you need to, you can always pop a block underneath the hand. Coming into your gate pose, let's take that left arm overhead and looking down. Gently send those hips forward. Option one is as you are. Option two, take a flow as you exhale, sitting down, sweeping the left arm in front of the body, and then inhale to come back up. And holding it up now. And then we'll return those hands to the center. So here, pressing into the pads of the fingers, curl your right toes under and just hover that knee off the mat. And lower down. Let's change sides. Bring that left leg in, raise the right leg. Take that leg over to the left, looking over your shoulder. Moving into your gate pose. Feel free to take your flow. Holding it up here this time. Gently tucking the tailbone under, sending the hips forward. And then returning both hands to the mat. So same as before, left toes curling under, just hovering that knee just a few centimeters off the mat. And lower down, bring that right foot in. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale into your back bend, exhaling to round. And let's lower down, both knees to the mat. Now if your knees and hips permit, sit back onto those feet. And then from here, take the hands behind you, lifting up those knees. Feeling a nice sensation through the tops of the feet. Lifting the heart, drawing the elbows back. And let's return to tabletop. Curling the toes under now, inhale into your back bend. Exhaling to round. Next time you round the spine, let's lift it up into your downward facing dog. Gently send your chest towards your thighs and try to press the feet away from your hands. Inhale, right leg up and step through into your low lunge. Float the arms up. Try and pull your left knee forward, drag your right foot back. We'll take a twist, palms to meet, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And let's return to center. Lifting up your left knee, rocking back to step that foot up. So option here to use your blocks next to the feet if you need to. Feet are hip width apart, keep a little bend in the knees. On your inhale, come halfway up, be sure to squeeze the heels in, and gently lift ladies through the pelvic floor. Let's engage Mula Bandha. Bring the arms with you. Then as you exhale, fold, higher out the breath. Inhale, coming up in a chair pose. Again, squeeze the heels in, bend the knees. And fold. Half lift, arms come with you, strong in the back. Hiring out the breath. Chair pose once again. Lower down, we'll do that one more time. Half lift. Chair pose. And lower, well done. You can take those blocks to the side, step it back into your downward facing dog. Gently broaden the shoulders. And then left leg up. Look forward, step through, find your lunge, right knee to the mat. Float the arms up, then move into your twist. So again, you want to try and pull your right knee forward, left foot back. And let's return to center. Framing that foot, stepping back, find your plank pose, tailbone tucking, rounding out the upper back. And then as you exhale, elbows brush the ribs as you come all the way down. So take those hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Again, tailbone tucking under, and as you inhale, float the legs and the chest. Inhale. And exhale to lower, pushing back into your child's pose this time. So be sure to tuck your tailbone under, send those hips back towards the heels. And inhale to come on up. Hands under shoulders again, curling toes under, find your back bend on the inhalation. Exhale to round the spine and take those hips up and back. Lift the right leg, step through, warrior one. So ground your left foot down on a 45-degree angle. You might like to bring your blocks over just so they're there for the next few poses. Inhale the arms up, press into both feet. So if you have any concerns with your back heel or ankle, pick up that heel and make it a high lunge instead. If you're feeling a little unstable, take those feet a little bit wider, even hip width apart. Let's bring the arms straight out in front to begin with. So you're pressing the feet away, and then as you inhale, bring the arms back. Exhale forward, round the upper back, and then try and lift from the middle part of the spine as you take the arms up. Exhale, hands to shoulder height. Inhale, arms back. Exhale forward, rounding and lifting. This time we'll straighten the right leg, press those feet away from one another as you fold forward. Option to recruit your blocks, and you might even like to step the back foot in just a little bit closer here. Inhale halfway up, and then exhale to fold. So if you don't need the blocks, hands can come to the mat. And then bending in your right knee, lower left leg down, returning to your low lunge. So option one, we'll keep those arms up. Option two, if it's available for you, bend your left leg and take a hold of that foot. If you're feeling stable, float the right arm up. So again here, we're trying to squeeze the feet towards each other. So right heel drags back, left knee trying to pull forward. Keep breathing. And release. Step it back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Step through, warrior one. Pressing into both feet. Inhalation brings the arms back. Exhalation, come forward, round the upper back, and then lift the arms. Straightening that left leg, folding forward now, either with or without your blocks. Option to step your back foot in just a little bit closer. And then bending your left knee, low lunge, right knee to the mat. So again, option one is as you are. Option two, take that quad stretch. And release. Step it back into plank. So we're going to hold our plank for just a few moments here, treating it as a counter stretch. So tucking the tailbone under, rounding out the upper back and shoulders, pressing into the pads of the fingers. So really shortening the front side of the body here and rounding and lengthening the back side of the body. If you're looking for a little more juice, try and slide the hands away from one another and the feet towards one another. Well done, knees to the mat. Coming into your puppy pose now, reach the hands out in front. If it's available for you, you can bend the elbows and take the hands to prayer. Otherwise, keep those arms straight. And lifting up. Threading the needle from here, right arm underneath the left. Firming right arm down and trying to squeeze those shoulders together. Let's change sides. And coming all the way up. So, starting to wind our practice down now. I'm going to use the two blocks and create a T shape. So, switch them up. So I've got my blocks on the second height. You can take them to the lowest height if you prefer. If you don't have those two blocks, then just a rolled up towel and take it underneath those shoulder blades. So a few choices here with the legs, yogis. Depending on your knees and hips, you might like to just recline into a reclined butterfly pose, so bringing those soles of the feet together. If your knees permit, we're going to do half hero, half butterfly. So bring your right foot to the outside of your right hip. You might even like to roll the calf muscle to the side. Keep your left knee pointing to the ceiling. As you start to recline, lift up your bottom and try and tuck your tailbone under. Lowering down, looking for your blocks. And then we're going to heel toe the left foot a little closer to the groin, a little closer to the right thigh, and then let that knee fall out to the side. Palms to face the ceiling. And feel free to close the eyes down. You might like to let the fingers naturally curl or connect index finger and thumb and take Chin Mudra. Feel free to close the eyes down. Checking the position of your tongue. Maintaining your Ujjayi breath. Inhale your intention. So if you're in butterfly pose with those feet together, feel free to stay there, or you might like to straighten and relax the legs now. If you're in half hero, half butterfly, we're going to come up and change sides. So point that left knee to the ceiling once again, sole of the foot flat to the floor. Palms down, tuck in your chin. Coming all the way up, then release that right leg and bring your left leg around. Remember, as you start to recline, tuck your tailbone under so that you're not jamming in your low back. Reclining, looking for your blocks. And wiggling that right foot a little closer to the left thigh and then out to the side. And when you're ready, let's release the pose. So if you're in half butterfly, you're going to point that right knee up to the ceiling. Let's turn the palms down, tuck in the chin to come up, release that left leg around. So moving your props to the side, but take a hold of one block if you have it in between the thighs now. So coming into our boat pose, we'll pick up those feet. If this is too intense for you, just one foot is fine. Keep squeezing the thighs in on the block. And then we'll lower those heels, bring the arms up, try and drag the heels back towards the bottom and then twist to your right, looking over the shoulder. So keep squeezing the block, pulling the heels back. And inhale, arms up, change sides. And let's release, return to the front. You can remove your block. Keep the feet as they are, hands to prayer, and lower yourself down. So when you touch down to the mat, take one block or your thick book underneath your head and make sure the edge of the block is meeting the very base of the skull. Legs can stay bent or you can straighten and relax. Palms to face the ceiling, always an option to take a mudra. So moving very slowly with the breath now, as you exhale, let the head fall down to the left. And then as you inhale, coming back to center, exhale, other side. So let it be slow movement, slow breath. And feeling the back of your head roll against the block. And feel free to continue this a little longer if you'd like. Otherwise, removing the block and lowering down into Savasana. I like to place one block under each thigh. Or you can even place them under the knees if you prefer. Shoulders to tuck under, palms continue to face the ceiling. And as you close the eyes down, softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. And as you drift into Savasana, inhaling your intention into your spacious body, quiet mind. Inhaling a little deeper now to guide your awareness back. Feel free to move the tongue over the teeth or swallow if the mouth is dry. Wiggling toes and fingers if the urge arises. And then we'll take a hold of those knees whenever you're ready. Arms as straight as you inhale and bend the elbows as you exhale. And if that feels good and you'd like to take a little longer there, please do. Otherwise, when you're ready, rolling to your preferred side and finding your way up to seated. Thanks yogis for practicing with me today. I hope that you enjoyed the class. If so, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.